The only sad thing is Paulo can't fly today, and the reason Paulo can't fly today is because of me. This wind is nasty. Oh, it's so bad. If I was alone, I would not be flying. It's that kind of wind. It's horrible.
I have gone to a lot of mechanics in South America. Some are good, most are adequate at best, and some should probably find a new vocation. But Paulo is different. You would never know it from seeing his humble shop, but this man is not just a good mechanic, he's the best I've ever seen anywhere in the world. Each day, every day, brand new motorcycles just off the showroom floor drive into Paulo's shop, and the owners plead with Paulo to tinker with them or to get his advice. This man is a legend in Brazil for his expertise, and had I known that when I first arrived, I would have trusted his advice right away. But thanks to the time I spent with him, I didn't just get to know his skill with motors. I got to meet him as a person, and as good as he is at being a motorcycle mechanic, he's even better at being a person, and I am honored to call him my friend.
Well, we're pretty much doing a complete overhaul of the bike here, so it needed it. And for where I'm going, it's really gonna need it. So we need to change out not just the oil and the valves, but we're doing a lot of things to it, and I think we're actually gonna do the suspension as well. Didn't want to spend more time here in Goiania, but the bike really needs it, so we have to do it. Paulo is making new brackets so we can put lights on the bike so I can see at night. Very nice. I just found out that the last mechanic who changed the oil on this bike put the oil filter in backwards, and so the oil wasn't properly getting up to the valves, which probably caused the issue to begin with. I'm glad we caught it though. Headlights are now installed. Well, today we're doing the suspension. Paulo actually talked me into it, and I think it's a good idea. I do need to lower the bike just a little bit, maybe an inch, maybe two, just so I can balance it a little bit better. So, outside of the motorcycle shop, and today it's just another day of working on the bike. Back at the motorcycle shop with Paulo. So because we lowered the suspension, the kickstand now is too long, so we're having to shorten the kickstand about 3/4 of an inch or so.
The next morning, Paulo invited me to take a ride with some of his friends so I could test the motorcycle and make sure everything was working correctly. Now, I'm on an enduro bike and everyone else was riding a road bike, and we were bound to hit a lot of rain. But I thought it was a good idea, and I really enjoyed everyone's company, so we sped off on our 8-hour excursion.
Well, we definitely hit the rain, and so now we all stopped at a road stop here, a gas station, to try to wait out the rain. But I knew it would rain. I knew it. But I'm still glad to get on the bike. I'm still glad to get out of the hotel, and it feels good to be on the bike, get used to the bike again, because I've been off of it for 2 months. So it's nice to get out with it without the paramotor, and so I don't have to worry about balance. I do have to worry about speed though, because everybody else is on cruisers and I'm on an enduro bike, so it's difficult to keep up with them on the street. Now if we go off-road, different story, but we are not going off-road anytime soon. Waiting for the rain to subside. I don't think it's going to subside anytime soon, or actually anytime today. I think it's just going to be a wet day. Stopped for coffee at this really cool gas station that has great food, but now we have to wait because the gasoline truck is filling up the tanks. We finally stopped our ride at our destination, which is a place called Pirianapolis. It's a historic town and a heritage site. It's beautiful here. The streets are the actual original streets. It was a wet ride here. We got rained on the entire way, so I didn't film any of our riding because the cameras couldn't handle it, but I'm glad we finally ended up where we did, and I'm interested to see what this town has to offer. This is a cool little town. It's very artesian. All of the shops here are like handmade, either clothing or art things or wooden things. It's very cool, actually. I like it. You know, I wasn't looking forward to the ride this morning, but now that I'm here, I'm really glad that I took the ride and I got to check out the bike. The bike is running superbly. It's actually running better than when I bought it. So very happy with the work that Paulo did, very happy with his company, very happy with his friendship. But now it's time to leave Goiania. In every country I go to, I try to grab something wooden from that country that's handmade that I can put on a shelf at home. And at home, I have a shelf of a lot of different wooden items. But as long as I've been in Brazil, and I've been here for 3 months, actually a little more than 3 months now, I haven't gotten anything wooden from Brazil. But I think this town may actually provide my answer. I should be able to find something wooden here that I can be proud of to put on that little shelf. In this little section of town, it's all microbreweries. The whole street is nothing but microbreweries, so we're gonna try some beer here and see if these IPAs from Brazil are any good. After a day of walking through the town here, we've decided to stop for what looks like a pot pie, maybe a shepherd's pie. Gonna try some local delicacy. Well, our ride is finished and Paulo and his wife and all the guys are gonna take off, so tomorrow morning I'll be heading north.
Before heading out the next morning, I decided to take one last flight with my friends in Goiania, but I had forgotten the hub that holds my propellers on. Paulo, in his generosity, insisted I use his, and he would stay on the ground. We compromised instead, and switched off and on using my gear, something Paulo was not familiar with, especially the left-handed throttle.
It's a cloudy day, and it's a bit windy, but it's my last day here in Goiania, so I thought I would go out, enjoy the day, and fly with the guys. I don't know how great the flight will be, but at least I'm with good company.
Well, the winds are what I expected them to be, which is pretty crappy today. It's a lot of active flying, but just happy to be off the ground. Happy to fly with my friends again once more. Yeah, the winds are horrible today. Horrible. But you can kind of tell by looking at the sky why the winds are horrible. The only sad thing is Paulo can't fly today, and the reason Paulo can't fly today is because of me. I lost the hub that holds my propellers onto my paramotor, so he put his on mine, and that means he can't fly. And I told him not to, but he refused, and so that's the kind of friends I have. He's going to go without flying just so I can have one last flight in Goiania. Man, I meet the coolest people and the most lovely friends. This wind is nasty. Oh, it's so bad. If I was alone, I would not be flying. It's that kind of wind. It's horrible. Well, it's my last day in Goiania, and I got to get off the ground. Not the greatest of weather, but the greatest of friends. It's an angry sky, almost like the sky doesn't want me to go. But the adventure's got to continue. I've got to get on the road. The bike is running better than it ever has. Not kidding. Paulo is an amazing mechanic. Absolutely amazing mechanic. I cannot believe what he's done to that motorcycle. Just the way it feels, the way it handles now with the suspension, and the way the motor is running. He's really done me a huge favor. And by the way, Paulo worked on that bike for many, many hours, along with his protege, and the bill came out to be about $260. Wow, the wind is nasty. And the higher I go, the nastier it gets.
For letting me borrow his prop holder, whatever you call that prop holder thing is. Paulo, I offered Paulo to fly my gear, and he refused, but now he's actually going to fly it, so I'm excited. Paulo has never tried a left-handed left-handed throttle rather, so this might be interesting. And the good news is the winds have died down a little bit. A little shaky, but he did it the first try.
While Paulo was in the air, I was thinking about all the great times and flights I had here in Goiania, but I was also thinking about logistics and what the next leg of my journey had in store for me. I wasn't sure where I was going, but I knew I had to drive north. I'd found a city on the beach at the northern tip of Brazil that I should probably head towards, and I decided that would be my next destination. The problem was that the tip of Brazil is 28 hours away, and once I arrived there, I knew I'd have to face the bad news that I had received a few weeks ago. But for now, I would just enjoy the last few moments here, and get a huge laugh at watching my good friend try to pull brakes while trying not to hit the throttle on his left hand.
That was close.
Well, I am finally leaving Goiania. Huge thanks to Maria, who took care of me the entire time I was at the hotel, 2 months. Unfortunately, in those 2 months, I missed the gap in weather, and I've now hit the rainy season, which I was trying to avoid. So it looks like I'm gonna have to drive at night more often, and it looks like I'm gonna get wet. But I'm gonna try to avoid the rain as much as possible. Anyway, let's get on the road. Wow, it's been so long since I've driven this thing that I forgot how hard it is to balance, but with the lower suspension, it should be a little easier. I actually don't know which way I need to go. Which way is north? This way? Okay. Wow, we're finally out of here. I cannot believe it. We are finally out of here. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I forgot how hard this was. 2 months is a long time. Wow, the front end is light. Holy crap, I forgot how light the front end was. Alright. Just slowly got to get used to the bike again. It's been too long. I'm glad I went on that ride yesterday with the boys. Well, Goiania, I was here longer than expected. Thank you for allowing me to be your guest. And to the policemen out there, I would say, please stop being so corrupt. Getting arrested here was not fun. Lots of adventures, lots of friends. Good times in this city. My journey from Goiania actually is 1 day and 4 hours, so 28 hours. It's a 28-hour drive. I've put in about 5 or so, give or take. The rain is stopping me. Awfully windy, but beautiful area. We're slowly getting into more and more trees. I'm starting to see more palm trees and that kind of thing. Happy about the bike. Paulo did a absolutely superb job. It took me about 2 hours to get used to driving the bike again with all the gear, because it is quite the balance machine. But I'm noticing that by lowering the suspension, and he shortened the suspension rocker, it lowered it about 2 inches, and that 2 inches really makes a big difference. I'm really happy with the work he did. The engine is running better than it probably ever has since I bought the bike, so no complaints. I really love the way Paulo took care of me, and he's a mechanic that can put anybody in the States a good run for their money, because he is that good. An amazing mechanic, and he really did me well. Love the lights he put up in front too. Helped in the rain and driving at night. The bike is good. You know, next week it'll be 1 year on this season. 1 year. I've been making videos for an entire year, just releasing one every week, and then I throw some shorts in here or there. But I've been doing this for a year. I did not think that season 1 would take me 1 year, and it's taken me even longer. Hopefully, though, I can get back to the starting point, finish up the season, but
don't expect that to happen anytime soon. I'm just amazed that I've been doing this now for a year. Loving it. I hope you guys have been loving the channel as well. If you have any suggestions for me, let me know. I have learned a lot in this year. I've learned a ton. I don't really know how to explain to you all the things that I've learned about how to travel the world with a motorcycle and a paramotor, but boy, the things I've learned is just, I'm amazed at the things I've learned. I really am. I didn't think I would learn this much, and I have been blown away by how much experience this has given me. Obviously, there's a few things that I would have changed had I known, but all in all, I'm pretty happy with my decisions, except for the trailer. That's definitely the one that I would say, boy, that was a pretty bad decision. But I wouldn't have learned the best way to carry a paramotor hadn't I started with the trailer, so I gotta be thankful. I'm okay making mistakes as long as I learn from them, and that was definitely a learning experience right there. Man, the amount of tolls in Brazil is out of control, and they're expensive. For a motorcycle, which in South America, you don't pay tolls except for in Brazil. Usually, you know, you would think it would be 50 cents, 70 cents. It's like more than $1 here, and it's a lot. It actually costs more than gas. The tolls cost more than gasoline does. Bom dia. Gosh, they put the thing on a hill. Quanto? I have no idea what she said because I have earphones in. Oh, hey. Necesita? I just dropped a coin down there. It's 50 cents, so that's about a dime in the US. Oh, she gives me the 20 back. Oh, sweet. Esta? Esta? I have no idea. Obrigado. Alright, I'm going to pull over up here and put my glove on. That was confusing. I have earphones in because I've been listening to music all day, so I can't hear a word she says. So I just act stupid, hand her a bunch of money and say, figure it out. Turns out it was about 6, so a little over $1. Anyway, yeah, so I've been doing this now for a year. What do you guys think of this year? Would you have done it any differently? Do you have any ideas for the continuation of Season 1? At this point, by the way, I'm going on faith. I've mapped myself 28 hours north, but there's a problem. There's a really, really big problem about mapping myself north. I didn't want to go back through the Andes Mountains. I didn't want to head south again and then go back over to Bolivia. The problem with the gasoline in Bolivia is even worse than it was before. And there's no way I wanted to traverse the Andes again like I did. It was tough. It was very tough. It was absolutely beautiful, but that was brutal. I can't explain on camera how brutal that was, and that's nothing I want to do. Again, I want to head north and I want to kind of finish my loop. But boy, there is a big problem up there where I'm going, and I am at this point really, really driving by faith that something good will happen when I get there. We will see. I don't know, but we will see. A lot of this trip has been based on faith. I don't actually map myself to a destination. I've only mapped myself a direction, and it's been that way the entire trip. except for a couple places. In Peru, I really wanted to see the Nazca lines, and I wanted to see Caracas, or no, not Paracas, yeah, Paracas and Sacsayhuaman. So I wanted to see those three things in Peru. Those were the only three things I really mapped myself. Then when Evil Villain 42 was here, she mapped us to Foz do Iguazu, which was the waterfalls. Nothing I would have ever mapped myself to, but I'm glad she was with me because I got to experience that. And those were absolutely beautiful. I mean, just absolutely beautiful. But other than that, all I've been saying to myself is, look, I need to go this direction, and I just go that direction, and I should end up where I'm supposed to be. I don't know where I'm supposed to be, but wherever I end up, that's where I'm supposed to be. And that's kind of how I've done this whole trip. Driving by faith. And now that faith has gone tenfold because of where I'm going now. We'll see what happens. Either way, beautiful day, sunshine. I hit the rainy season, so I'm thankful for the sunshine. I just got to put in as many miles as I can. So, onward we go.
Before finishing up this video, I have to take the time to say thank you. It's been 1 year. Season 1 started 1 year ago, and when I started this season, I thought maybe it'll take 6 months, maybe a little bit longer. And it's been a year of you guys watching my videos, and I'm so appreciative of it. I'm so thankful that every Thursday I know that I'm touching your life in a way just by showing you my life in a way. And I can't say thank you enough. Thanks for joining me on this journey. Thank you for all the likes and especially for the comments. Thank you for reaching out to me and letting me know what you think of this crazy adventure of mine. It's been amazing. We're still not done with season 1. We still have many miles to go, and I'm not sure what's going to happen when we get up north, but if it's anything like the last year, well, we know that there's going to be something crazy that'll happen. But I just wanted to say thank you. I wanted to thank you for spending your year with me and watching my videos, and it's very, very greatly appreciated. And let's see what happens next year. This isn't finished yet. I still need to finish season 1 before I can really think about season 2, but I just wanted to pause at this milestone and just say, hey, thanks for spending a year with me.